Main thing is either go big or go home. That's what it's got to be. You got to take chances.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're, like I say, you have to do that, I think, to move forward and to do anything really creative in the big scheme of things. So yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Because you're a big infrastructure guy, I'll just say this is Jimmie Lenz. Just amazing person all the way through, through and through. Great to have them here. The panel was absolutely incredible.
Thanks.
With us, we're relatively new players, so we've got two things in the motion right now. So we're doing play and earn gaming. So we've actually got a thing called OpiPets. So it's a play and earn gaming, but what we're focusing on is the Web3 market so far is saturated with people just trying to get as much as they can out of it. Whereas what we're trying to do is do a story-based thing. So we start with the game, start with the story, and then all of the rewards is the incentive. It's not the main reason for it. Because obviously Web3's come such a long way in such a short amount of time. The technology leapfrogged so far. Do you have any insights on what gaming would be like in the Web3 space?
Yeah, I do. One, I think Web3 in 4 years, not even 5, 4 years, will not be what we think it is today. That I know, because that's the way it always happens. I mean, who would have thought, when the internet first came along, that it was just going to be a shopping mall?
Yeah.
Right? It was going to be like this great invention for all these things, the shopping mall. But I think the metaverse is the same thing. What we envision today will change fairly dramatically. I think the opportunity. I mean, stories are kind of cool because stories are one thing that has been passed down through millennia, right? I mean, there are very few other things that are consistent through millennia. I mean, we've changed pretty much everything except stories. If you go back thousands of years, what's written down? Well, there's some accounting things too, but those are kind of stories in themselves. Yeah. But you see stories, historical stories, religious stories, all kinds of things. And so I think using the metaverse and, that's a natural, and people don't think about it that way, but that's the most natural way to start, is stories, because those have always been with us.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
One of the genius things about the story is that whilst they were going through their panel, talking about everything, literally trying to get an interview for the interns as well at the same time. I love that, though.
Absolutely.
It's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a teacher, I'm a professor, and my students are really like my kids. I get so proud, I get choked up about them all the time. I have my own 2 daughters, and then I have this other hundreds of kids. And I love that, and yes, I'm always going to be pushing them. I'm going to be pushing them, and I'm going to be pushing for them. Yeah. So yeah, the opportunity to highlight, them in front of, this really diverse crowd we have of not only folks from Horizen, but from all over the world. Yep. I've spoken with people from Asia here, from the Middle East here, from all over Europe, from North America, from South America. When are you going to get a chance to do this? And my students want to work around the world. It's a really global group of students. And so they are open to those kind of opportunities. So why not use this?
They're supposed to be interested in a decentralized cloud computing network that we're also working on as well.
They are interested in all types of technology. One of the things that I find amazing is how open they are to imagining new things. So taking technology and thinking about it in very different ways. And part of that reason is because, one, their considerations are still so broad. They haven't been jaded by experience. People often say, well, somebody has 20 years of experience, they must have all these great thoughts. It's like, no. 20 years of experience actually narrows your considerations down, I think.
Like insular thinking.
Absolutely. You know with a high probability what the right solution is, or what you think the right solution is. Students aren't jaded by that. They still have these really, really broad considerations. And for people like me, I have certain life experiences, but I go to a class of students, I'm never going to think like a woman raised in South Korea. It's just not going to happen. And so why not, kind of highlight that? Why not take advantage of that, really? And so it's great for me to be able to highlight that at some place like this, but even in the classroom. I love hearing those perspectives from students because they will bring up things that it's like, wow, I never even considered that.
Well, that's what obviously we're with Opus Group. Fresh out, only 22 years old. I'm the narrative designer for their game. Yeah. I'm a Dungeons & Dragons geek. I literally had a company just writing Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, and then they brought me on for stories. So it's about taking chances and thinking outside the box. So thank you again for teaching
Absolutely.
people and leading the future in critical thinking, because we need it right now.
No, it's a pleasure really to speak with you, and you know
Oh.
I'm always out there. No, it really is. I'm always around to for this kind of thing, because I think it's important that we get those kinds of thoughts out there, in particular around students and people who are learning and people who want to grow, because there are so many people who don't.
You know what, I thought it was nice before. You are fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Take care. Have fun here.
Thank you so much. We
Okay.
will. Thank you. For OP TV, we'll be back next time.